Bury My Heart with Tonawanda is a film I wrote, produced, edited, and even starred in. Bury My Heart with Tonawanda is a historical film about the Seneca Nation and the Tonawanda Indian Reservation. It tells the story about a boy born with Down syndrome who was rejected by his own family but adopted by the Tonawanda Seneca Nation. I have been involved with Self Advocacy for about 10 years now, and I've been attending local Self Advocacy events as well as this conference for about 10 years now. Some of you may recognize me. I love films and I love to watch them a lot. I have noticed that there are a few Hollywood films about people with disabilities. And when there is a film that portrays people with disabilities, most often the part is played by an actor who does not have a disability. That has bothered me for a long time now, everyone. In writing a script for Bury My Heart with Tonawanda, I combined two serious issues for myself and everyone involved here: Native American culture and advocacy for people with developmental disabilities. This film is about a young man born with Down syndrome in the late 1800s. He is rejected by his father and is eventually sent to an institution called the Asylum for Idiots in Syracuse, New York. This was a real place, and the Asylum for Idiots was its real name way back in the late 1800s. Now it is called the Syracuse Developmental Center. I learned this while making another film called We Can Shine from Institutions to Independence. I went to Syracuse and interviewed Joyce Becker, a social worker and historian who worked at the Syracuse Developmental Center. She told me about the conditions there from the beginning to the 1970s. And I just want to point out to everyone that both Bernard Carabello and Michael Kennedy, who are in We Can Shine from Institutions to Independence, are here this year at the conference in Albany. So just to show some support for the pioneers of self-advocacy, I suggest everyone gets their autograph. I know I got my autograph from Michael Kennedy. For the film, she told me about the activities Joyce Becker did for the residents at the center. She told me that most of the residents did activities such as sewing, but when they ran out of sewing, they would walk around in circles inside the building for hours. The older, more capable residents would watch over the other ones. Sometimes in nicer weather, they would go outside and move rocks back and forth for hours also. We all know that as time went on, these places got overcrowded and the conditions got worse. In the film, I emphasize the fact that the Senecas believe that people with disabilities were especially sent here by God to teach us. Michael Bastine, a Native American teacher and author, presents this concept in the film. In real life, Michael is an Algonquin medicine man, teacher, and father of Bailey, an individual with Down syndrome. She is also in the film as well. And now, here is Mike Bastine to say some words for everyone.
Thank you, everybody. And I'll tell you, it's an honor to be amongst the people who are so misunderstood and carry this message of this life, of how you go through this place. And you have to take the different looks, you have to take the different treatment from the rest of that life out there that calls itself normal. And what I see out there is they're missing out on a very special part of life. And when I tell my daughter that she is the best human being I ever met, and you people are representing one of the best groups of humans on this planet. And so when I say that we honor you, it doesn't mean that we put you on a pedestal. It means that we include you and that we want you to be a part of this life just as everyone else is. And that's how we share that special insight that you all carry in this life. So thank you very much. Thank you. And this was a project done 15 years ago. It's called Lessons of the Heart. It's of my daughter when she was about 3 or 4 years old. And it was a homemade video project on the back, and I'll leave it out on display for people to take a look at. The photo was put on there upside down intentionally because it's for the people outside of here that they need to change their views and stop looking at people who are different in a manner in which is disrespectful. I am so proud of Adrian and Stephen and everyone in their videos for the work and the dedication and the message that they not only put into their video, but they walk through this life and share with everybody else. And that's what you guys are doing too. And I thank all of you. And I'm going to support and be with you guys as long as I'm on this planet. Thank you.
My fellow advocates, I'm reminded of how I got involved in making of this great movie. I remember one day I got this call from a contact coming from the Algonquin back in Washington, and she was talking to Adrian and his mother about casting the lead role in this movie, and she specifically mentioned me. Specifically, probably because I've done like news interviews for the ARC. Many times over the years I've been involved in the ARC. And so I am in front of the camera and all, so I just thought I'd be it might be a good fit for me and all. And I thought it was quite, at first I was really intrigued by it, so she gave me the number, I called Adrian, his place, and they kind of like a table read type of thing, and they really liked what they saw in me, and they cast me. And I remember the first day of filming of my scene, they dressed me up as the old man, actually not an old man, professional makeup, and I remember I looked in the mirror wearing the makeup, and I was totally amazed by that and how that looked. It was just been wonderful, it's been great, and I remember the last day of filming, we actually had to make up on scene because of a thunderstorm, at the end, and afterwards we had this cast party, pizza party at the director's place, and during it I remember I saw a newspaper article about the movie, and it was just amazing to see that, and that particular night was quite memorable because the director, Gary Sundown, gave me this tortoiseshell necklace. Let's say I became under a trial, kind of like my character in the movie. But anyways, after that night, the film went into the editing process and then showcased it in the film festivals. The first one I went to was in Buffalo, And just seeing it up on the big screen like that, it was an awe moment, and I was really amazed what everyone did, and just seeing it up there, it just took me aback. And the movie's been quite a success ever since then. I know a few other film festivals that I went to were actually out in California, like in Bakersfield. And it was just amazing, and always been a great success. And speaking of which, I would actually give credit to the success of the movie that's had up to now to everyone involved in it. And talk about the entire cast, crew, the producers, the writers, everyone did a phenomenal job. And I would like to give a personal thanks actually to Adrian and his mother Christina, who made that, just to give us this great opportunity to be a part of something so groundbreaking with an extremely important message behind it. And that was how to treat people, having to be different. And just to make it clear, in the movie it only gives an example of its own Down syndrome. But I'm hoping when people see this movie, they see it the way I see it. And which is how we treat people with all kinds of disability. Not one in particular, but all disabilities out there. And I think that I see those similarities between me and my character. And how we both got involved in advocacy and how that could change a person. I remember back in the day, I was kind of kept to myself. I didn't have any confidence in myself to speak my mind. And in the movie, my character was being down by society and shunned, and fortunately I still with the kids, really fortunate. And then he got stolen on to the San Diego. The way I see it is an advocacy movie. Actually, the way I see it, and this is how in the movie the concept of advocacy came about in the first place. And but the whole experience has been great and wonderful, and just thinking back to where I am right now, able to speak my mind. After I joined advocacy, I remember a good friend of mine was a part of an advocacy group based out of the hall, and he wanted me to go to the meeting with him. So I did. And I liked what I saw. I saw these great, wonderful people, and I finally got the confidence that I needed to speak up for myself. And like in the movie with my character of John Harrison, the same type of thing happened to him when he, stole on to the Seneca Indian tribe. They took him in, and over time, gave the confidence that he needed to become a more involved, mature person. And just thinking back the way it was before and the way I was before, it was really a life-changing moment for both of us on so many levels, because it makes me, I don't know how to really describe it, but it was life-changing, and being part of this great movie was also a life-changing moment for me, because now that I got bit by the acting bug, I want to do more and continue my quest to make some kind of a big difference in the big way in the world of advocacy. And well, I just hope that someday, group by group, or individual by individual, we will all somehow band together to end all negativities sprouting from the disabilities of all kinds. Thank you.
All right, and just to let everyone know, Bury My Heart with Tonawanda will be shown in its entirety at this conference at 9:30, I believe. take this opportunity to see it, everyone. Here is a trailer of the film, and enjoy the movie which will be shown tomorrow. It is also available to buy on Google Play, and if you want to buy a copy of the DVD, I will be selling it here at the conference this year. Thank you.